Yes.
From here.
Yes.
From the Survey Paving.
Yes.
And welcome, Miss Claxton.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead now.
You know, as usual, we have to start with our little morning prayer.
Yes, indeed.
Heavenly Father, here we pray. We want to thank you, dear God, for today. We want to thank you, dear God, for giving us another chance, another morning to wake up and say thank you, Lord. I want you, dear God, this morning that you can guide and guide the footsteps and the pathway, and those who are driving, dear God, take them to their destination in one piece. And dear God, as we journey today and as we go through our day, let us find time just to say thank you, Lord. It is not because of anything good why we are here, dear God, but because of your goodness and your love towards us. We thank you, dear God, for loving us. We thank you, dear God, for keeping us. And these mercies we ask in your name and no other name. Amen.
Amen.
Welcome,
Amen.
Mr. Gilbert.
Welcome.
Yes.
We have Miss Claxton, who is here with us this morning from Survey Paving, and so she has some information for us.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, I just wanted to touch on just two topics, and I try my best to be very brief, and we'll take the calls after Mr. GQ.
Right. And then that's when you can put on your headphones.
Yes.
Yeah.
The traffic lights. I'm going to touch on the traffic lights this morning.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
As we're all aware, traffic lights have three colors. Green, go, yellow, slow down, and red, stop. But in St. Kitts, it seems like green means go, yellow means speed up,
Continue.
and red, stop. So we are asking the persons who are using, the motorists and pedestrians who are using the crossing, to be aware that green light means go, yellow lines mean for you to slow down, and the red light is for you to stop. The persons who are using the crosswalk, the pedestrians, please be mindful that once there is a flashing light, you should, and you're on the end of the crosswalk. Let's say you're standing on Victoria Road and you see this light start flashing and you're standing on the end. You haven't stepped on the crossing yet, even though you would have recognized that the lights, the crosswalk, meaning the white man, as you would call him, the white man is there and you start walking. If you are not walking as yet and you see the light start flashing, that isn't a good time for you to walk. Motorists also be mindful that even though the light might turn green when someone is on the crosswalk, you still have an obligation to stop and let the persons finish their walk, because you cannot injure people. You cannot
use your discretion.
Right, you cannot knock down people. And so that is for the motorists. Pedestrians, there is something in our laws now called jaywalking. Some persons think that jaywalking is a joke and that nobody is going to arrest them or ticket them for jaywalking. Jaywalking means you are crossing the walk where there is a pedestrian crossing and you're not using the pedestrian crossing. That's jaywalking. Jaywalking also includes if you're supposed to be when there is a wait sign and you still want to cross. For example, you're waiting for the light to turn and you still want to run across the road. All that includes an accident. Reason being, you're just concentrating on speeding and getting past the light. But there is a vehicle in front of you that had to stop because a vehicle in front of that stopped. And so you know not having enough space. And so what you do? You run into that vehicle and that vehicle run into the vehicle in front of them. So that is something that we want the pedestrian, the drivers, the motorists to be mindful of. Please be mindful that the traffic lights are there for us to abide by. And let us be respectful. We also recognize yesterday that there are 2 traffic signs in the Rams parking lot on the Bay Road. And these signs are saying designated buses for the West-East line, persons who are traveling from Keon to Molyneux, and persons who are traveling from Bastia to Molyneux and Bastia to Saddlers. The licensing authority has no knowledge of it, and we weren't aware. Nobody would have spoken to the licensing authority. We did not give any permission. And so we want the bus users to know that once they go into that parking lot to pick up passengers, they will be committing 2 offences. And so we want well, I would have suspected that would have been done for the persons who shop at Rams and they have bags, and the busmen are trying to make it easier for the persons who have the heavy load. But there is a right way and a wrong way to do things. And so we weren't informed, and so we're asking the general public and the bus drivers, let them know that the bus drivers, they're committing 2 offences. One, you'll be off the bus route, because the Rams parking lot is not a part of the bus route. And you'll be picking up passengers in an area that is not designated to pick up passengers. So those 2 offences will be committed. So we're asking the bus drivers to review, have a conversation with the person in charge of traffic department, Superintendent Mills, or the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Hilroy Brandy, and see if you can get something worked out differently. I'll stay here for now while I ask Mr. Gilbert and Miss Claxton to fill us in.
Want to go first?
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Good morning to the listening audience and those who are viewing via another platform, and to my esteemed colleagues here with me in the studio, a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a Wednesday, midweek. We are here this morning in relation to the road and the use of the road. Currently, we are doing some road work in the Wellington Keon Street area, and we have a number of contractors working there at the same time. And we are urging motorists that if you don't have to use Keon Street, Wellington Road, that you can use the F.T. Williams Highway, or you can use the Bay Road to get around that corridor there. We realize that a number of traffic still try to come through there, in spite of the fact that so much activity is happening at the same time. We are urging you that it's a construction site, and even if you have to come through there are flagmen in place, and there are speed limits to observe in the Bastia area. Secondly, we have the road, which has been, this black surface, which is the asphaltic part, has been removed in a number of areas and been prepared for a new surface to go down, which Ms. Claxton will give you more information on that in terms of the diversions and where to go and what to look for, etc. So on to Ms. Claxton.
Okay, good morning to everyone again. I'm Shea Claxton from Surrey Paving. I'm the quality engineer, and I'm here to give you more information on the traffic management plan that we have in place for the resurfacing works that we have going on between Wellington Road, along Wellington Road to Camps Roundabout. So for that corridor, we have 8 work sections to make the work easy and to limit the traffic interruptions. So the 8 sections are Camps Roundabout to Springfield Cemetery, which most of the work has already been done throughout that area. The second section is Springfield Cemetery to Westbourne Street. We have already removed the old asphalt surface, and we will be resurfacing sometime this week. The third section, Westbourne Street to College Street, which we plan to work from November 9th to November 14th. The fourth section, College Street to 4th Street, November 14th to the 21st. The fifth section, 4th Street to Baker's Corner, November 21st to November 28th. Then up to the Robert Llewellyn Bratcher Airport Roundabout, to the Public Works Department Garage, that's the Vehicle Maintenance Division.
That's correct.
From November 2nd to November 7th. From the Public Works Department Garage to Edward Lane, down on Wellington Road, November 28th to December 5th. And from Edward Lane back to Baker's Corner, December 5th to December 12th. We are hoping that Public Works Department would ensure that there are media releases prior to work in the section so that everyone would be up to date to where we're working, where we're going to next, so they can try to avoid those areas. So even though Mr. Gilbert said that you should try to avoid traveling within those areas, we do have proposed diversions just in case you come upon a work area, then you would know what the alternative route is. So for section 1, the alternative route, you can travel along the F. Williams Highway, come down to the Green Lines or the St. Peter's Roundabout, down onto Orchard Street, which is the street with the big tamarind tree, or you can drive along Flamboyant Drive, that's at the back of Green Lines, back down onto Keon Street. For section 2, which is Springfield Cemetery to Westbourne Street, you can also utilize Flamboyant Drive or Orchard Street to get around the work area. For section 3, if you're driving eastward, that is if you're going into Bastia from the Camps roundabout, you can drive down onto Westbourne Street and then onto Central Street to get around the work area. If you're driving westward, that is towards Bastia from the Baker's Corner end, you can drive down onto College Street, onto Central Street, and get back onto Keon Street via one of those side roads, Fines Avenue or Tibble Avenue. For section 4, which is 4th Street to Baker's Corner, if you're driving eastward, you can drive down onto College Street, onto Central Street. You can turn down onto Church Street and then get onto 4th Street via Liverpool Road. If you're driving westward, you turn down West Independence Square Street, drive across Bank Street, then you can go up to 4th Street onto Central Street, or you can continue along Liverpool Road. For section 5, 4th Street to Baker's Corner, you can turn down Church Street, and vehicles who are traveling from the Baker's Corner end will be directed toward Pond Road to get around the area. For section 6, which is the airport roundabout to the Public Works Department garage, you can utilize both the F. Williams Highway and the Kim Collins Highway to get around the work area. For section 7, which is Public Works garage to Edward Lane, again you can utilize both highways, the F. Williams Highway and the Kim Collins Highway. For the last section, section 8, Edward Lane to Baker's Corner, again traffic that is coming from the Baker's Corner end, you will be directed across Pond Road, and you can take Dickinson Street, which is the street with the Seventh-day Adventist School, to get back onto Wellington Road. Just on routes, so you can't get lost. You'll always know where to go. One other thing, any person who is or who wants to access.
Miss Clarkson, you said that police and ambulances would get preference to go to
the work area.
areas?
Yes.
Because I was coming down on Keon Street yesterday, and I had some trouble with a young lady. As a matter of fact, she don't even have a flag. And she was just there, and I'm waiting and dancing in the street and just...
Okay, I will take note of that and look into it.
Thank you so much. We want to continue our talk about the traffic lights. Some persons would say that the traffic lights are not working. Sometimes the green light comes on and persons are still on the crossing. The traffic light would not suit everybody. We have to adjust ourselves. The traffic lights are working, and they would malfunction from time to time. Like, for example, those on Baker's Corner, you would find that sometimes they would either the red would stay for longer than what it normally stays, or sometimes the pedestrian crossing you just would not see that white man. I have been in the area where I would signal persons, or the traffic warden is there, signal persons to monitor in the area, signal persons to move along, let the pedestrians go, or let the vehicular traffic go. That does not give persons the right to run a red light. We have a lot of that. Persons thinking that the light might stay longer than what they're accustomed to, and they think that gives them a chance to run a light. Running a red light is a traffic offense. And so we're asking persons, even in the evening, persons complain all the time. Persons are running red light, and we are moving into a different era. We're in 2020, we're going to 2021, and so we need to get accustomed to doing the right thing. When in a red light, you can't run a red light in the States, otherwise you're going to get a ticket in the mail. We want to speak about America when it comes to certain things. But when it comes to doing the right thing, it's a different ball game. So let us just be mindful that the traffic lights are there for us to abide. Persons who are using the crosswalk, please be mindful. We have jaywalking, it's a part of our regulations now, and so persons, you must be aware that once there is a crosswalk, you use the crosswalk. And if you're standing at the beginning of a crosswalk and the light starts flashing, it means then that you have to wait and not cross. Motorists, please be advised that if the light turns green and persons are on the crosswalk, please be mindful that you have to give way for those pedestrians to continue their walk, because you cannot do injuries to anyone while they're on the crosswalk. We'll take questions.
All right, then the lines are now open, so let's take our first call for this morning. Good morning, you're live. Yes, good morning, you're live. Let's try this one. Good morning, you're live. Okay, we lost those two calls. Let's try this one. All right, good morning, you're live. Let's try this next one. Hi, good morning, you're live. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. A load of noise out here, brother. Blessings on the roof. So if you hear any distortion, it coming from the blessing on my roof. Good morning, Donnelly and all who in the station.
Good morning.
All I call to say is two things. I think too many younger age than we persons are getting licensed, and they are not intend to perform their best performance and gather experience, because too many of them now getting in accident by brushing people on the side of the road or standing up or knocking down people, all because they don't want to gather no experience from others and themselves. And the last thing, it is high time for cameras to be placed on the traffic lights. So as soon as me or GQ run the red light, the camera snap us, summons us right away and collect your summons in email. Have a good day, everybody. Rain is coming. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's take this next call. Good morning, you're live. All right, let's try this one. Hi, good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
First, I'm glad that Donnelly has mentioned the fact that the signal system is rather poor. So, and I'm glad that it is coming from a police officer. Secondly, I keep speaking to the police department that you're preaching the wrong sermon about traffic. The first thing in traffic is about the safe flow of traffic. It's not about the safe flow of traffic. It's the wrong approach. Now, I saw teaming challenges this week, and I'm hoping that you all are addressing that problem in challenges. Thank you very much.
All right, let's take this next call. Hi, good morning, you're live. All right, we lost that one. Let's try this one. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GQ.
Yes, morning.
And good morning to Donnelly and her team.
Good morning.
No, Donnelly. Well, I have a problem with the traffic lights them too. Because I think it was Monday. I was by the crosswalk there by the old museum. By the old church there by the museum. And when I going a step right,
All right, we seem to have lost a caller there. You can always call back Mr. Politics. Let's try a different call. Hi, good morning. You live? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning
Yes.
to everybody.
Yes, morning.
Hi. I just wanted the officers to, and if they agree with me, to make the point to all users around the traffic lights that they must obey the lights and the signals that pertain to them. What do I mean by that? Very often I'm seeing pedestrians on the walk, but they're not watching the lights for the pedestrians. They're watching the lights for the traffic, for the cars. So as soon as they see red or they see amber or whatever, they think it's okay to start crossing. It's not okay, I'm sure. The officers will bear me up to start crossing until you see the white individual, the white man saying in the thing saying that you can cross. And I'm sure the lights are set with the appropriate safety time lags in between and so on to make it safe. And similarly, sometimes when driving, I realize the traffic and the lights looking like they're coming up to change or people getting impatient. They see pedestrians crossing, and then it looks like pedestrians stop crossing. And you see the cars already beginning to ease forward. The lights haven't changed yet, but it's like they're following the instructions for the pedestrians now instead of the instructions for the cars. And I think that is one of the problems we have that is causing some concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. We're going to respond to the callers in just a bit, but it's time for 9 o'clock report. It's coming to you, compliments to Grange. We'll be back, so please do stay tuned, and we'll be taking some more calls on the other side.
You're simply the best.
We are all in this together.
And we all have a part to play.
It's COVID-free. A Velcro plastic divider may be used. Have a minimum of 2 hand sanitizers, one for you and one for your guests. Always carry extra mask and disinfectant in your vehicle. And post signs to remind passengers to use hand sanitizers and wear their mask and follow social distancing protocols.
When providing a service, it is important that the hands of the passengers are sanitized before entering the vehicle. Remember, a mask must always be worn by all occupants of the vehicle for the duration of the trip. At the end of the trip, remember to wish your passengers a good day. Ensure they have left no personal items behind and sanitize their hands.
Once you have completed your trip, remember to sanitize your hands and your vehicle. Seats must be disinfected and all high-touch areas, such as doors and seat handles, must be sanitized before your next trip. Let's do all we can to keep ourselves and our visitors safe.
Here at St. Kitts Water Safaris, we know it has been a difficult time for everyone due to the worldwide COVID pandemic, but we saw it as an opportunity. We made the best of all the downtime that we have. We've been maintaining the jet skis weekly, constant servicing, and 2 of them are actually in the shop right now getting repainted. We've also been doing customer service training, hygiene training with the staff bi-weekly. And I think that we have been very keen on how to not be as interactive as we have been, because we are a very customer-forward company as it pertains to hugging, handshaking, picture taking, and that kind of stuff. So that has been the most difficult for us, but we've been very keen on making those necessary changes. We are ready as we can be for when all the tourists start coming back, and even more than the tourists, we are ready for the locals to start coming out from curfew, and we're just ready to have some fun.
My name is O'Neill Mulrain, and I have been giving nature tour for over 40 years. My passion in the rainforest is about plants and the wildlife. There are many different species of plants throughout the rainforest floor, which is like 35 to about 40 different species. And most of them can be used for homeopathic medicinal purposes, like the main apple plants can be used for loss of appetite. This is sage or lantana. They both can be used for tea purposes. In my hand, I'm holding silver trumpet. scientific name, citrifolia. It's been recommended to make a bush tea, drop the height of the blood pressure, hypertension, cool it. The rainforest in St. Kitts has been protected and actually growing. This is the ideal time for you to explore and to have an adventure. Remember to keep the forest clean, just the way you meet it.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce would like to remind persons when patronizing businesses to abide by the following COVID-19 guidelines to protect employees, customers, and our community. Urge employers to check employees and customers with a non-contact head thermometer on arrival to a business place. It's mandatory that employees wear a face mask when at work and in the presence of others. No customers will be permitted to enter an establishment without a face mask. Encourage both employees and customers to wash their hands with soap and water or sanitize their hands with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer of at least 60% alcohol when entering a building, after interacting with customers, and throughout the day. Remember to maintain 6 feet physical and social distancing. Consider installing barriers such as sneeze guards or partitions in high traffic areas to limit close contact between employees and customers. Clean and disinfect highly touched surfaces such as doorknobs, telephones, cash registers, bathrooms, tables and countertops regularly throughout the day. Offer e-commerce services or curbside pickup options wherever possible. Encourage good hygiene practices among staff and customers by posting signs and posters in the business place. For more information and tips to consider, visit www.covid19.gov.kn.
My name is Carla Astafan and I have been a potter for over 20 years. I know it's a very difficult time for all of us in the industry, but this time has given me the opportunity to really rethink the whole operation. It's given me time to do other things, to do my pottery. I'm trying to stockpile on my work. To my brothers and sisters in the tourism industry, this is a time to look towards the future. This is a time to examine what you have been doing, see what new things you can do, how you can diversify, how you can innovate, plan ahead. So with proper planning, we will all be prosperous in the future.
My name is Omar Chin. I'm a small business owner by the name of Nightlife Barbecue and Grill. Location is right in front of the Silmax movie. I just thanking Social Security to come on board in this time like this now. You know, we have in a COVID-19 relief fund supporting us. You know, it's a good thing to come on board. Like our Social Security just come across on board and just, you know, helping out in this time. You know, it's a very good thing. Asking all the people around who have small businesses can join Social Security. It's a very nice thing. Most people who travel from foreign to come in St. Kitts, come live in St. Kitts and do business in St. Kitts, join Social Security. Thank you, Social Security, to be with us in the time in need.
Visit our offices and sign up for our self-employed coverage. Berrode, Bastair, or Pinneys Estate, Nevis.
Online payments now available for employers and the self-employed. Pay.
Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to
slow it down. And that's what we're going to do right now, slow it down. We're going to take some more of your calls in just a bit, but before we do so, I'm going to let Officer Lightbird Shiverton respond first.
Thank you so much, EQ. For the caller number one who would have spoken about the accidents and persons getting their driver's license. That is an ongoing process. Persons would always get their driver's license. All we're asking now, once you have obtained your driver's license, the way you would have driven while on that driver's test. Take all the precautions, use your hand signals, use your indicators, all we're saying, just to follow, just continue. Because it's a process, it's a learning experience for you. You're new on the road, and so we're just asking you just to be mindful. Accidents will happen. Some accidents we can't avoid, but where you can avoid an accident, sometimes even as a road user, you have to give up your rights. Even though you're right, you have to give it up just to make sure the traffic flows properly. Or somebody who wants to make an argument about something simple, you just say, okay, sir, I take it, okay, have a good day, and you move on from that. The cameras and the traffic lights, we're working on stuff. I would not say that we're working on that, but we're working on things. we're trying our best to put a lot of things in place. We have more cameras now than we would have had in 2018 and 2019. And so the process is, I would not say the process is slow. I would just say that it is costly. The challenges challenge that the person would have called, and someone spoke about it last week, Wednesday as well, and I am getting the painter. I am not certain whether or not we're going to take out the yellow line that they spoke about down by the daycare center, but it's something that I would have to get the signal, just follow, just obey. And once we do that, things are going to get better for everybody. Thank you so much. But before I get off, I just want to big up my sister Leslie and my sister Rosalind. It's in there tuning to the program at this time. Thank you very much for listening, and I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and watching too.
Yes.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning. A pleasant Wednesday morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Pleasant Wednesday morning to you
I
too.
know Ms. Liebert would have just spoken about the stoplight there by the Treasury, the one closer to the post office.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize there's normally a lot of backup there because, okay, but it's a backup like come up Fourth Street. Because you have Liverpool Road where you have different traffic. Sometimes there's a backup. Even though you follow the light, by the time you get to 4th Street, the bottom of 4th Street, there by Royal Bank, the circus area, it's a backup because, as I say, you have vehicles coming from across and across and across. So that, we need to work on that one. I don't know what we can do, if we can do anything. And can you explain for me the jaywalking? Thank you. Have a great day and listen up.
Okay, thank you for your call. You want to respond now, or you're going to take notes and
Yes, I'll take another call.
Okay. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, GQ, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
It's your rescue partner from the airport, man. I want a business in College Street, God.
Yes, go ahead.
Boy, the other Saturday morning, to be exact, at 10:06, a lady run up here and run into all the benches, mash up all the benches, lost control of the car, and so, and not only that, but continued driving and gone, and so, because the only reason I know is because the number plate was stuck onto the bench after mashing up all the benches. An elder man sometimes hang out there, and other people are waiting to get the bus, and it was really scary when the wife called me and told me that, you need to come now, we have an accident up the gut. The lady hit all the benches and just turn off and continue.
Wow.
I mean, I've been saying, on other radio station that we need the speed bumps in the gut because sometime in the afternoon, the busman, them are racing down here like, well, it's a racetrack, and sometimes you got your children coming through the alley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really scary, and so I talking about that, but it seems like in saying it's something that happened first. People lose their foot there. Remember, a lady had lose her foot just under there, and other things happen there. I calling on the traffic and the government to really get this thing serious and deal with these speed bumps coming on College because it's really getting radical. And people hitting and they're driving. Before, but somebody could have been there just sitting down, having a drink, or, somebody waiting on a bus, and then the person would just hit and just run gone. It's just really scary.
Well, thanks for bringing that to our attention right now.
No problem, GQ, but I'm calling on them to really get these speed bumps.
Okay. You want to respond to that?
Yes.
That's a serious one there.
Speed bumps are in College Street, God. And the accident that the gentleman is speaking about, I am very much aware, we are very much aware. And this is where we have to let persons, I am trying to be mindful of how I say this, because it's a traffic accident and investigation is ongoing. And so I have to be mindful, because these matters are matters that's going to be taken to the magistrate court, and you don't want anybody to say, okay, the police was on the radio speaking about this, and so you still have to be mindful. But we are mindful of the traffic accident, and we the information that you have is incorrect to a certain extent. Let me just say that.
Okay.
The information that you give is incorrect to a certain extent, but the police is well on top of what happened, what went on, who was really driving. We are well on top of our game with that accident for sure.
Okay.
It was an unfortunate situation, and here it is that we have to let the owners of vehicles, owners of motor vehicles, if you have children or you have family members who just take your vehicle without you giving them permission to drive. If you know you have those kind of children or those kind of family members around you, be mindful, because when persons take up your vehicle without your consent, drive your vehicle without you giving permission, and causes accident, things can happen. He spoke about the lady who lost her legs, and that is enough for anyone to feel hurt or distraught or distressed about. And so you have persons who know that someone does not have a driver's license and give them permission to drive. And in these cases, in this particular accident, we know, we are aware of what would have taken place. Fortunate for us, cameras was in the area, and so we got the whole of everything. And so we are very disturbed about the incident, the accident, and so the police is dealing with that accident. The speed bumps, there are speed bumps, but they are missing. Some of them are not, they're in pieces. And here's where public works comes. That's Mr. George's area.
Okay.
The gentleman who spoke about the lady who spoke about the backing up of the traffic lights. Like I say again, some of us want to drive. Some of us want to drive too much. We have to park up and walk, because once you drive, you are a part of causing this amount of vehicles that you have. If you want to make a run to the Polo Company, you want to drive to the Polo Company. Parking ramps, parking lot. Or for some persons, if you live in Greenlands, leave your vehicle at home, take a walk into town, and this would eliminate some of the traffic that we have. And some persons just do not want to walk. Some persons just want to just drive, and it is causing a congestion in the Basti area. Our Basti area is small, especially that little circle around there, the Bell Road, College Street, Liverpool Road, Bank Street, 4th Street. That area is small, and with all the vehicles that travels to there on a daily basis, we have to do better.
All right, let's take some more calls. Caller number 3, you are live, and good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. Didn't know what I get in. I'm sorry. Just since morning, when people call in, you know there's something wrong with the phone system. Yeah, so you have to be mindful of that.
Yes.
But I call because I'm from Challengers, and I'm in Challengers every day. I want to know you all doing. You all made a mistake, in my opinion, traffic people, when you put a yellow line the full length of the southern side of Challengers. The yellow line, non-parking line, is necessary at 2 points. But there's another central point which should not be any yellow line. When you are going to mark out, I would like you all to put some crosswalk across the road. Because I said it many times before, but you all like to ignore. Most of the people live on the northern side of the road. But when they're going to travel west, say Old Road to Old Road, they have to cross the road to stand on the southern side to stop a vehicle, a bus or whatever. So you all need, well, I believe that there should be at least 3 crosswalks in Challengers. But a lot of people want the government ministers to come and tell them things when they're going to farm laws. But something like that, you all could talk to villagers. I'm there a long time, and I could tell you all, show you all where the crosswalk should go. I'm fully aware of what's going on. So, I mean, some people passed you there to ask some questions the other day, and that was good. I hope that is the first sign, but not the last. So when you're all going to map, you have to come in the village and you'll know who to talk to. So this needs to be done. The modernizing the crosswalk will help to cut down the speed, the speeding that these buses and other vehicles travel through challenges. Even the vehicle carrying the boulders them. Everybody driving fast. I don't know why. Anyway, have a good day.
All right, man. Thanks for your call. All right. Line number 1, you are live and good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, I want to ask the traffic department. Do you have specific instructions what the traffic wardens like on the street does?
I'm not understanding.
Prioritize the traffic that is coming up College Street Gut and down College Street Gut as against the traffic that is coming across Cairn Street, particularly at peak hours like midday. Because if you do, I want to point out to you that it is causing a lot of problems with the traffic light guided traffic that is coming across Cairn Street at rush hour. I have noticed it myself that while the traffic is flowing along Cairn Street from east to west, there is a traffic warden stationed in College Street Gut that is stopping the traffic coming across Cairn Street in preference to traffic coming up and down College Street Gut. And it is causing a serious bottleneck right across Cairn Street all the way back to the traffic lights. I brought to the attention of one of the officers at one time, and the person responded to me, I am working at this spot. As if to say, I have nothing to do with over there. And I was trying to indicate to her if she could monitor to ensure that at least there is not a bottleneck across at Wood Street before she prioritizes traffic coming up and down College Street. Thank you for listening.
All right. You want to respond?
Yes, thank you very much, caller. That caller, I really appreciate that call. That's a very, very important call. And you are so correct, you are so right. And so my job would be to have a conversation with those traffic wardens. Because once you have a bottleneck in that area, it's going to cause obstruction, and it's going to cause congestion. And so I would want to apologize for the way the traffic warden would have operated from the licensing authority standpoint, because irrespective to how he or she feels about you speaking, we still have to be respectful in the way we deal with people, because we are doing a service to the general public, and we are always talking about police and the community, and so we have to be mindful. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes the way our actions would just bring off this with negative feelings for persons. Nobody want to give the police any information because of how we react. Mm-hmm. So I want to apologize on behalf of the licensing authority, but I can say to you that I would have that situation resolved. Thank you so much, caller.
In relation to the traffic light in that area there, I am fully aware that there's a bottleneck in that College Street, Cairn Street area. So we are planning to put some more lights in Bastia 5, and that's one of the area earmarked for traffic lights. So that will be synchronized with the one at let's say top of 4th Street there, so they will synchronize with each other to give way. But I must say to you too, I stood at 4th Street one day, a police officer was there, and the traffic was bottlenecked in that area there, over by the gut area. And I asked the police, why is it that the traffic backing up there? He said, because people are stopping in the road for their own business, and the light is changing and people are not moving on. So that area there becomes a bottleneck. The people are stopping, people are getting off, people are getting on, people are communicating with others on the street. And as a result of that, they're not mindful of the lights. So the light changing and people in the middle of the road. So we expect you in those areas there to just move along so that the traffic can flow. But we're going to put a light in the gut area to take care of that bottleneck there.
Okay. Let's take some more calls. Line 2, good morning, and you're live.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I got some concern about three. The first one, public works at the management of solid waste, right? Not solid waste,
start repairing. They pave through Newton ground. They take out the stuff off the road. But they ain't put on the coal mix or nothing. They just put on it right now. Rain come in and it don't start to dig up. And it just pave, you know. It don't start to dig up. Second one, they remove the water pipe. They ain't put it back. But they still reach right down by me who water to do the work. And other people in Newton ground, they have water. They using the same stamp pipe. Nobody put back the stamp pipe. And the third one now, they ask people to cooperate with them with the fence. Now they come back, people had 4 feet fence, 5 feet fence. They said they only could give them 2 feet fence. And that's my little concern.
All right. Thank you for your call. Thank you for raising that as well. I'm going to let you respond in a bit, Mr. Gilbert. Line 3, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Dear panelists. Just to add to what the caller was saying about College Street got and the traffic warning, right? What I find happening, what they're doing wrong, is that they're stopping the traffic that's flowing from east to west when the light is green. So you find that when traffic coming across, they back up all the way back to 4th Street, because what they need to do, when the light is red, stop the traffic and call out traffic from the gust. What they're doing, when the light is green, when they're stopping the traffic from flowing, so if you got it back up, going back there. That's why we are happening on time. So maybe you have to talk to the officers, them, the wardens, them, and tell them stop the traffic when the light is red, not when it's green. That will help a lot. Okay, thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. We're going to take these 2 calls. It's going to be our final calls for the morning. You're live, and good morning.
Hello, good morning. I always like to refer to Keon Street as a highway. And where you have a highway, the traffic should be flowing. And the gentleman before, he's quite right. So I think that no one should be stopping. Once you clear that light, the traffic's supposed to be flowing, flowing, flowing. It's a highway. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Line 3, okay, we lost line 3. Line 2, you're going to be off final call. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Could you speak?
Because the front of food is got down on highway. Hospital can. After Mr. Kane, after Mr. Kane, for Henry, nobody doing nothing. They need speed bump.
Caller, I'm not hearing you clearly. Could you repeat, please?
I was telling you that child will need speed bump too. Because the traffic to come to full speed. That's to the back of where Carol lives. I'm by Miss Terry's area.
Thank you, caller.
Yes, so look into me, please, because I saw you talk and nobody doing action.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be it for all calls. And I'll let you all respond to those issues that was just raised before we wrap up. Okay. You want to go first,
Claxton?
Ms. Claxton?
Okay. For the caller who pointed out or who spoke to the pavement in Newton Ground, I'm not exactly sure what you're speaking about because the whole village has already been paved with a new surface, but I'll take a drive down and see if I can pick up anything of what you spoke to.
Secondly, the caller spoke about the fence. He said fence will remove 4 feet and then now giving them back 2 feet. I am going to also go down to Newton Ground and investigate it and see what I can do.
Yes, caller number 10, caller number 11 basically spoke about the same thing with College Street got, and it's something that we will address. It's something that can be easily addressed. And so I would have a conversation with the officers who work there so that we can have this situation resolved. Caller number 12, if you can, you're listening off here, if you can call the traffic department and I can get your number so that I can, when I come into the area, we can have a discussion. And that is also for the gentleman in Challengers who said about the crosswalks in Challengers. If you can call the traffic department, give your information so that when I come to Challengers, we can have a conversation. Nothing is wrong when persons speak to the police and give us advice, because sometimes we might have it a particular way and you've been around, and so you can give your suggestions, and so we would accept that. Before I get off the air, I want to speak to the West Line bus drivers who comes down from traveling from west to east, persons who are dropping off the school children by the Dr. William Connor. They put the children right on the top of Wrigley Avenue. Now there is a crossing guard in the center as you come off of the hill. It's better you put the children next to the crossing guard. There is a crosswalk right there. The children are coming down. As a matter of fact, we almost had an accident there yesterday with a child, because they put off the children and then that's it. No care after that. And so the bus drivers, please be mindful, please be aware that once you're putting off school children, there's a crossing guard right down to by the school. Just take the children down there, stop, and the crossing guard would escort the children over on the crossing. Thank you so much.
All right, that's going to be it for us today. I guess next week, same time, same place, we can do it all over again. Mr. Gilbert and Ms. Claxton, thanks for being here and sharing the information. And do keep us up to date in terms of what's happening.
Thank you.
And Miss Officer Liebert Shiverton, I need to write that down so I won't make a mistake anymore. Thanks for being here once again.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and have yourself a great week.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Hey, stay tuned. It's the At Work Network up next. And for those of you looking forward to those Christmas carols and those releases so far for Sugar Man's Party 9, please do stay tuned. Of course, if you listened last night, you've probably heard Ice Up with his latest release. So stay tuned, all that and more coming up next.
I want you know, drivers, take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road.